More Heart Than Talent Radio.
Jeffery Combs, president and founder, Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated, with a More Heart Than Talent Facebook Live on a beautiful first full week of July. Welcome to Facebook Live here. It is my unequivocal privilege. We will eventually be renaming this call and calling it the Golden Mastermind Facebook Live. Cassiopeia Turcotte, welcome to Facebook Live. Marina Joy, welcome to Facebook Live. Ruth, good to see you this afternoon. Scott, good to see you. Wojo, my brother, good to see you. How many of you noticed my hair's a little long here? Because it looked like I used a haircut? Blame it on COVID. I'm just kidding. So welcome to Facebook Live. Kate Grace in Kansas City. Deb Lucas, good to see you. Ruth, thank you for that acknowledgement. I am in crush mode, C-R-U-S-H. How about everyone, all of you that I see so far are my clients and friends, how about a fist five for every one of us? Just like an F5. Fucking fist five. How about it, baby? How about a fist five? Scott Lucas, my brother, welcome to Facebook Live. Cassie, I am very inspired for your success. Ruth, inspired for your success. Wojo, looking forward to a great future to all of you. For those of you who have bought the Protege Writer Speakers Workshop, I promise that this year I will host an online Protege Writer Speakers Workshop with TTG, top tier guest, and I will find a way to open it up for my coaching clients. It will be a coaching client only event. So it'll be 2 days, 4 hours online. I'll bring Cara DeChico Sandre, Carla Vilches, Quantum Healers, T.C. Bradley, and I will pull some other rabbits out of my hat. Scott Huminski, there's my Chicago boy. Good to see you. Scott is a top-tier real estate investor. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Aaron Knight, for those of you who have not connected with Aaron, Aaron is a fabulous truther and is very, very connected to source and attracts great content. Aaron, thank you for the video that you sent me today. Also want to pass on to you, we as a collective consciousness feel free to share videos that you attract through your own consciousness with people in my circle of influence or my group. Marina Joy has great content. Betty Ann Chulamovich has great content. And there are many, many people who bring great content to the Facebook Lives. Alicia Sidoris attracts great content. So let's have a deep breath, everyone. Deep release and really tap into S-O-U-R-C-E. Source today, baby. S-O-U-R-C-E. Lisa Rochelle Owens, good to see you. Henry, good to see you. Lisa, I met you in person in Milwaukee. I remember that day. So welcome to Facebook Live. Aaron is a top-tier musician from Toronto, and I asked him if he knew Alana Miles, who sang the song Black Velvet, and he did. I knew that he would know her. Here's some books of mine that I have written, or I seldom endorse my own books. Here's my best-selling book, The Breakthrough Factor. This was a bestseller on Amazon for 2 days. It outsold Tony Robbins for 2 days. That is not a claim to fame. That is a fact. This is my newest reprint book called Psychologically Unemployable. This was originally written in 2005. And I'm very proud of this book as I remastered and re-edited this book. And I put a new chapter on letting go in this book. I really cleaned it up and brought it up to the new millennium. And I wrote this book in 2016, The Anger Factor. You can purchase any one of those or all three on my website, goldenmastermind.com. I just released a producer's package over the 4th of July weekend. I want to thank my assistant, Dylan Albertson, who is freaking crushing it online. And we're going to do some online training. I'm going to have Dylan on one of my calls. It will be a special call, free of course. Dylan is going to let you know how we're able to have 4-figure days online selling downloadable products. Now, these are skills that you require to know. Bob Campbell is on the line here today. Bob is my good friend from Chicago, Illinois. One of my clients who just rehired me, Mike Zagare, and that's Z-A-G-A-R-E. Mike became a multimillionaire online selling cat litter mats. He pioneered his own cat litter mat. and has had multiple six-figure months. I'll say that again, multiple. That means many six-figure months. So you figure that out. Six-figure months, not six-figure years, six-figure months online. A lot of that was ad spend, but he's also had multiple large six-figure months. He'll be a guest on one of my Facebook Lives. Content for today is applicable to what I'm even bringing to the table here, purpose. My purpose. I don't know what my purpose is. I can't find my purpose. I found mine. Michael Cole, my brother, good to see you on today's Facebook Live. I found my purpose. I became clean and sober at 31 after hitting rock bottom, and I mean rock bottom. My rock bottom took me from county jail to 9 months in prison for selling drugs, and I finally got clean and sober after 14 more months of being out of jail and hitting rock bottom for the third time. And when I say rock bottom, my rock bottom was a wheelchair in a county hospital, wheeled into a treatment center where I weighed 114 pounds. I hadn't eaten in 1 year. I'd eaten solid food in 1 year, and I was having delirium tremens. I used to think it was delirium tremors. It's delirium tremens, means my body was convulsing. Now, rock bottom is a very overrated place. I do tell the story. It doesn't mean you require hitting rock bottom. If you're in rock middle right now, if you don't know where you are, why you're here, that's understandable. But purpose means at least you find something that inspires you. It doesn't have to be your life purpose right now, but you want to have a purpose to finish this year in production, to be able to create some results. You have a half of a year. Now you can look around and go, oh my fucking God, this is one of the most challenging years in the history of my life. You can acknowledge that fact. That is a fact. I mean, look how life has changed in 4 months. We had February, and then we move into March, and all of a sudden the NCAA tournament is canceled, the NBA season is canceled, and then restaurants are shut down. We're not traveling, we're not going to church. You can't go to a beach. I mean, there's a lot of situations that are happening. And then the word mandate. It's a new word, mandated. Governor Newsom has mandated that all Californians are now wearing masks. Governor Newsom has now mandated that no Californians can dine in restaurants. That's Governor Newsom, or any governor is doing this mandating. So once again, I don't get too overwhelmed or too pissed off or too worked up about a mandate. I think mandate, isn't that a mandrake? Isn't that a duck? But I mean, whatever it is, it quacks, and I don't really want to hear that sound. But what I'd focus on is I focus on results. Now, I am very, very deep in understanding what goes on behind the veil, and I follow some of that narrative, but I focus my attention on results. And I'm going to have my first coaching clients with one of my clients, Kevin Woods, on here, who's on this Facebook Live today. And I'm going to be focused on assisting him to move into production, into results. That's what you want to focus on this next 6 months of the year. So you want to don't focus on everyone's outer world out there. Focus on what you can create, the innovation, creativity that you can bring to your emotional table. And then if you have a team, you want to be able to lead a team and then mentor a few people that you're leading. And that's how you start to create a culture. You're looking for a mastermind alliance. Now, my mastermind alliance right now is my assistant, Dylan Albertson. I speak to him 7 days a week. I speak to my wife 7 days a week. I have other vendors and contractors who I employ as either 1099, or I have other accountants and lawyers and people that are in my mastermind. But most of my time is devoted to this. It's devoted to production, results, creativity, innovation, lead generation, service, value, then relaxation, and love with my wife. So, I mean, that's the value ladder. And so you start to choose what's valuable to you, and that's where you start to find meaning. And what you're doing right now doesn't have to be your life purpose, but there is a purpose of what you're doing right now, and that's to create results. That's be and stay in business, or improve on your job, or whatever it is that your focus is. Do your best not to say things like, oh, I hate my job. Oh, I can't believe this. Oh, I hate my sponsor. I hate my upline. Oh, the governor. Oh, the government. Oh, don't focus on that. Focus on what you can create. Because when you start splitting your energy on what you hate and then step over here and what you like, I mean, and then the same situation. If you like your company, if you like your situation, but you hate prospecting, you're in a mixed message. You don't have to love anything. What you want to move is into acceptance, because acceptance, now you can move into purpose. Now, the purpose of prospecting is to be able to attract teammates. The purpose of prospecting is to be able to bring a benefit, a feature, a service, a product, a free enterprise. The purpose of prospecting is not to be rejected. The purpose of prospecting is not to feel abandoned. But if that's how you see it, then you'll attract your reality, people and situations to fulfill that purpose. And in that same situation, you'll also continue to attract your reality. If you can't find someone to reject you, you will reject yourself by never being good enough. When I compliment people, I offer genuine compliments. Oftentimes, the person I'm complimenting who is not used to me complimenting, go, why do you say that? Why do you think that? Well, I shouldn't have to qualify a compliment, because when a compliment is genuine, a compliment is genuine. But if you can't accept a compliment, that means you're critical of yourself while being critical of others. That allows you to move into a let-go state where you begin to forgive yourself and others. You begin to let go of the events that shape your feelings. You move into higher levels of consciousness by scaling energy, by letting go of the events that shaped your feelings, focusing on results, focusing on living in the solution. Now, I have assisted many people to clean up their lives, and I don't just mean their physical lives, but their emotional lives. But I also assist people to be and stay organized. If you're overwhelmed, overweight, unorganized, undisciplined, there's a direct correlation between the feelings that you stuff. And when you stuff feelings, you will stuff them with food, or you withhold your body from food, or you'll stuff them with alcohol, compulsive debting, compulsive spending, or you'll stuff them with your own feelings. You'll stuff your closets. You'll stuff your car. You'll stuff your trunk. You'll have stuff everywhere. You'll have stuff on your shelves. You'll be overwhelmed, overweight, undercompensated, and live in a very low level of energy. Now, these are facts. I was there before. I'm a perfect example of what could happen to you. Rock bottom at 31, where you go, well, I'm 51. Well, it doesn't matter how old you are. I know a man who at 62 years old became clean and sober. Now, I met this man in the 90s, and I heard his story. It was amazing. He was in a network marketing and direct sales company. When I met him, he was making about $15,000 a month. He then went to another company that was a startup company. In 2003, I watched all this happen, and I watched him be the number one income earner in that company it's almost $1 billion company. He's now in his 80s. Now see, he started his business at 62 years young. He'd never been an entrepreneur until he was forced into retirement, and he found network marketing and direct sales in one of the same companies I was in the 80s, NSA, National Safety Associations, which today is called Juice Plus. See, it's never too late to change the way you've been changing. Now, I feel fortunate. I got clean and sober at 31. My young superstar, Josh Moran, who's also someone that I highly endorse. Josh was a wrestler at Arizona State University. He hired me when he was 21 years old. I met him in Great Falls, Montana, when he was this handsome young man. He's still a handsome young man in his 20s. Josh just experienced his first year of sobriety. His whole life has changed because he's starting to understand the inner game of letting go. Josh is a coach that I endorse, and he's on the Facebook Live here today. So he really understands the inner game of letting go. Christina Wavrova is also on the Facebook Live today. She is a very, very skilled expert in a specific modality of quantum healing where she specializes in blood. And Christina, go ahead and give them your Facebook way to connect with him. Josh, please let them know how to contact you. So I'm also a very, very great promoter of other people. And if you start to do this, then people start to promote you. And this is where these become win-win situations. When you can endorse others, others will endorse you. But when you don't deserve an endorsement, you won't receive an endorsement because you're not good enough. So when you let go, when you begin to separate your feelings from the events, that means letting go is a skill set. Letting go virtually is a neurochemical let go process. You're letting go of the neurochemicals of the neurons that wire and fire that form a feeling that you're now separating yourself from. And when you're able to separate yourself from those feelings, now you are not the mind-body connection to those events. It means you no longer have headaches, your neck doesn't go out of place, your lower lumbar doesn't go out of place, your prostate begins to change, constipation begins to improve, your gut issues begin to go away, you no longer have psoriasis, you no longer have eczema, you no longer have asthma. Some of these mind-body conditions begin to heal themselves because you are letting go. And you also are starting to reach out and outsource other skilled practitioners who can give you inner wisdom about the very events that shape your feelings. There's a lot of new technology out in the world today. There's a new quantum healing machine. I actually have a woman that I outsourced today. I paid her to work on me remotely with this new machine. And so there's a lot of healers are so good at their craft that they can remote view and they can heal you through surrogates, through someone next to them where they can muscle test someone else and feel your energy. Now, that's how specialized and how detailed healing is becoming. And that's why it's so important that you begin to heal yourself and you begin to let go. If you're building a business in real estate, mortgage, insurance, finance, network marketing, direct sales, wellness, if you're a coach, an influencer, an affluencer, if you're marketing your intellectual property, if you're an Amazon online marketer, or any multitude of situations, or you're a business owner, it's going to be your responsibility to understand the reflexes required to succeed. And if you want to create leverage, that's how you create wealth. If you want to create leverage, well, it's going to come from other people, other ideas, other opportunities that you can outsource, bring together, and be compensated on. Now, for you to be able to do that, you're going to have to be able to have some boundaries, some dedicated blocks of time to improving certain skills that you've been avoiding, and then practice the art of letting go. And if you're not skilled at letting go, then you'll keep holding on to the same situation over and over, recreating the same outcome to fulfill the same set of feelings. Now, letting go is not difficult. Letting go is new. And as you begin to understand what letting go is, then you're going to start to gravitate more and more toward your purpose. Your purpose will find you as long as you're not trying to force yourself to find it. Because a purpose is not an it, a purpose is not a thing, a purpose is a feeling. A purpose becomes cause, purpose becomes meaning. And until a situation has meaning to you, it's meaningless. And so if you're avoiding building a business, it means it has no meaning to it. The meaning you're giving it is, I don't want to be rejected, I don't want to be abandoned, I don't want to fail. So you're actually in a reverse osmosis situation. You're actually going backwards rather than going forwards. As you're holding on to these set of feelings, you're actually holding on to the past, and that past is regret. So you virtually have a leg in the past and a leg in the present. So you can't possibly find your purpose. You have to go out into consciousness for purpose to find you. See, when you try to find your purpose, you're forcing it. When you let go of force, now you're in a place called power. And in power, there's no win and lose. There's no black and white. There's no right and wrong. There's no good and bad. You're in a state of being called be. And in that state of be state, you're not intense. You're not inflexible. You're a lot more flexible. You're a lot more relaxed. And situations can show up that you wouldn't have been able to notice before. The situations have always been there, but when you're not purpose driven, you don't really have a cause. You're meaningless. You're just wandering through this face of the earth in a lot of debt, overwhelmed, wondering and worrying about where your next situation is going to come from. As you begin to let go and separate your feelings from the events that shape them, as you focus on results while living in a solution, in a very relaxed body, attracting to your reality a soulmate, improving your relationships with your teammates, being able to be mentored or mentor other mentorees as you move into that state. Now you're moving into a place of empowerment. And empowerment is meaning. When you start to feel empowered, there becomes meaning in who you are and what you do. People begin to feel you. Your attractor factor changes. Synchronicity happens OC, on command. I called a man yesterday, bought a $97 product. He said, you know what? I'm so glad you called me. I've been thinking about contacting you. Well, within a few minutes, he hired me, let me know what he felt I could assist him with, and a new relationship was formed just like that. That is not only synchronicity, that is synchrodestiny. And when you're able to let go of your anxiety about outcomes that haven't happened, when you let go of struggle, when you let go of being a heartaholic, when you let go of trying to control every outcome to feel in control of being out of control, now you're moving into consciousness. You will find purpose in consciousness. You cannot possibly find purpose in anxiety, fear, and doubt. Because in anxiety, fear, and doubt, you're overwhelmed. Purpose cannot find you, and there is no meaning. Because now you're in a day-to-day subsistence of struggling. Just figuring out how you're going to get by, how you're going to get through your next fix, when you're going to relapse next, worried about the next relationship you do or don't have, in an overwhelmed state, in an overwhelmed body, trying to figure it out. The ego that says, this doesn't make sense. It does make sense. It doesn't make sense. I want to make sense. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I don't understand this. When I have clients say to me, what's going on in the world doesn't make sense, I go, then stop making sense of it. It's not about sense. It's about change. The world is changing. You have to be flexible in it. You can't be flexible when you're trying to make sense of it. I don't understand these people. I don't understand this party or that party. I don't understand this. I don't understand this narrative. Be flexible. Be in the middle of it. Don't try and fucking figure it out. Let go. Let go of figuring it out and be flexible enough to understand and know what is going on. It's not your responsibility to fix everything. It's your responsibility to respond to the situation. It's your responsibility to let go. It's your responsibility to be flexible enough to adapt and adjust to the situation that's going on in today's outer world while you're focused on results and living the solution in your inner world. The solution today is gratitude. The solution is joy. The solution is relax in today. Be grateful that it's a beautiful day in the middle of summer in one of the most beautiful places in the world, America. No matter what's going on, we still have options. No matter what country you're in, you still have options. Canada, America, Australia, wherever you are, you still have options. You still have opportunities. No matter who's in government, who's in power, you're in power. There might be someone who's trying to overpower you, but you're still in power until you give up your power. You give up your power and anxiety, fear, and doubt. You're empowered when you don't give away your power. And that power that you're in, that power is called self-esteem. And that self-esteem means you respect yourself enough not to disrespect yourself by being critical of yourself. You respect yourself enough not to disrespect others. You can hear what other people mean. You don't have to be right. You don't want to be in conflict with them. So when you understand this, you are in your power. And that power is called flow, and that flow is called prosperity. And in Latin, prosperity means prospero, to flow. It's like a water. It just keeps moving and moving and moving. And in that state, opportunities find you. People find you. That's called meaning, purpose, and cause. And when you're cause-driven, purpose-driven, when what you're doing has meaning, then it's a different significant energy that you're coming from. I coached a gentleman earlier this morning, Ted. Good to see you on today's Facebook. Ted, and I could tell Ted had a significant transformation. Ted has great tone. Ted has great energy, but I could feel Ted's purpose today. I could feel Ted like I've never felt him. So in today's world, Ted will attract to his reality people and situations. Ted found a new cause. Ted found something that is absolutely inspiring to him. And Ted's a quantum healer, and he found a situation that's going to really assist him to facilitate that. That means meaning and purpose found him, and that's exactly how this happens. When you let go of trying to figure it out, when you let go of force, when you let go of who I should be, where I should be, I'm not where I should be, when you let go of overwhelmed and being self-critical, then you are the freaking man. You are the woman. I mean, you're the man and woman you're supposed to be. You are you, and you are free. I'm selling off some of my assets down at my museum, and my assistant was down there showing some of my car collection, and I have this sign that one of my clients said to me. It said, "You are you, and you are free." And one of the people buying some of my assets said, "Hey, I want to buy that sign." And my assistant said, "Oh, that's not for sale." And he goes, "Well, what's his price? Every man has a price." And he goes, No. That won't be for sale. And the guy goes, "Well, why not?" He goes, "Oh, because one of Jeff's clients gave that to him." See, that piece has meaning. That piece has more meaning than the Corvette. A client didn't give me that Corvette. My friend Pete Tamillo gave me that sign. I was Pete's coach for 8 years. So that sign is worth more than $100,000 to me. So they could have offered me $100,000 for that sign, but I wouldn't sell that sign because that sign has more meaning than money. Because I was Pete's coach when Pete was going through a divorce, and Pete told me that I changed his life, and that's why he gave me that sign. See, that sign had purpose. That sign has meaning. That sign has cause. So that sign is not for sale. The car is, because the car is a piece of metal. The sign's wood, but it's not about the wood. It's about the purpose. It's about the meaning. It's about the cause. And see, this is when certain situations are priceless because there's too much meaning for them to sell. Their value is so great that they're not for sale. Because that value, it's the value that you bring to free enterprise, the value that you bring to yourself. Aaron, you feel that, don't you? You understand that, a beautiful truth? Because certain things just can't be bought. You can't buy purpose. It's not for sale. It's only you have it. You have to be, I suggest you find a way to be purpose driven. So Josh, you feel like, can't you? You feel purpose. You're living it. Some of you that have known me for a number of years understand that purpose is the tear that comes right like that. It just rolls down your face. See, and you can't define that unless someone else is feeling it with you. Because when you can release tears of a place where there's pain and there's passion, when pain and passion come together, that's, from my definition, that's purpose. Because that's when pain and purpose come together, and that's power. That means that your pain and purpose come together, and you're separating yourself from that pain. Now you've crossed the line to purpose. That's when you become purpose-driven. In that place, you will not be denied. But you're not coming from anger in that purpose. So many people confuse directness with clarity. Now, this is my own definition. So directness is when you're coming from anger, when you're really direct. Now, when you're coming from clarity, you're coming from consciousness. I've had people go, "You're direct." I go, "I'm clear." There's a big difference. Clarity is consciousness. Directness is anger. Directness is control. Consciousness is command. When you're in command of your emotions, you can adapt and adjust in an emotion at any given minute. That is purpose. And when you can come from that type of inspired energy, you will attract your reality on command, people and situations to fulfill. Now, this is my affirmation. On command, I attract my reality, people and situations to fulfill cause, meaning, and purpose. Feel free to borrow that. I wrote that down a number of years ago. I have not trademarked it, but I have put a little C on it. So, to my reality, I attract people and situations to fulfill my cause, meaning, and purpose. Write your own purpose statement today. Write one purpose statement today about your purpose. It's an affirmation. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't overanalyze it. Don't overthink it. Write one sentence about your purpose. And if you can, do it present tense. Today, to my day, I attract to my reality. A purpose, cause, and a meaning. If you are on this Facebook Live and you've not accessed this Facebook Live before, you're brand new, or you've not accessed a free 20-minute coaching session, I have a small amounts of free time this week. I am coaching on routine 11, 12 hours a day. But if you would like a free 20-minute coaching session from me, feel free to go right up into Messenger right up there and go ahead and send me your number and what you'd like me to assist you with, and I will respond to you within 24 hours. Once again, Aaron Knight is my top truther on today's Facebook Live, along with other people here. Aaron attracts great content. Thank you very much, everyone, for being on today's Facebook Live. Love all of you. Have a great afternoon. And most importantly, have an outstanding month of July. We deserve it. Halfway point of 2020. Good day, everyone.
More Heart Than Talent Radio.